Today I received my paper pumpkin kit, so we're going to get together and do this together. I'm going to make 4 cards the way they suggest, and then I'm going to make 4 cards the way I want to do it. So I love that. You can kind of do your own thing. So let's roll that intro and let's get started. And here we go. Here is a picture of the 4 cards, but we're only going to make one of each one of these designs, and then I'm going to step off camera and I'm going to do my thing and plan out what I want to do for the other 4 cards on my own. So let me get started. They make this really easy. So I like to fold this back. So first on card number 1, we're going to do some stamping, and it says, "Hello friend, love you lots." Looks like that's on one stamping there. Okay, so we're going to take our stamp set. We're going to pull off "Hello friend." You get so many reusable stamps that you can use in these sets. Just be careful when you pull them off, especially when they're new, just because they're brand new babies. So this is, they provide you with this too, so you can put your stamps in an envelope once you get them and you'll know what they are. So we're working with a "Hello friend" right now. I've pulled out one of my stamp blocks. I'm just going to use this diagonally. And I like to just kind of give these a wipe when you first get them. They have some like processing powder on them. So you want to make sure that that comes off, especially when they're brand new. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper over here. And this is a stamp spot that you get. And I only undo one side of it. I like to keep the, there it goes. Should have done that to begin with, Susan. On these little tiny stamp spots, I like to keep the lid attached. So I will just keep it off like that. And it kind of gives me a handle to work with here. So I'm going to go through and stamp this up. And I'm going to stamp this a couple times, especially when a stamp is new, you want to make sure it's okay. I'm going to try one more time, get the stamp real seasoned up. Sorry, I'm a little off camera there. I've gone ahead, I don't know if I mentioned or not, and gotten into the kit and separated all of my pieces. So let's see what this one looks like. Looks good. So now I need to find the appropriate the area that will, looks like they might all be the same. They are the same. So let me just make sure that this goes on here. I'm sorry, let me get my this out so you can see that a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and stamp these all at the same time, because we know, even though I'm doing 4 separate cards my way, this die, the only way that it's going to work is with this stamp. So we'll stamp it, and I may not use it on my 4 other cards that I make up, but I'll put it in my little library of sentiments. So line that up carefully. This gives you a little bit of cushion. These are our little rubber mats. They're also good when you're gluing items because the glue does not stick to them. Pretty good. Let me adjust my camera a little. There we go. Sorry for the wiggle. All right, there's that. Then it's calling for 5 of these little flowers, and it's just getting these little glue dots. So I'm going to use my pointy tool to pull that off. There's a little backer on here you need to remove to expose the sticky parts. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove these strips off of the back of my strawberry plant. And now what we're going to do, pardon my reach, is we're going to come in here with this card. And I'm bringing my bone folder, one of them, and just really get that crease good and tight. And we're going to bring this in and put this on this piece of vellum. I love this vellum, my gosh. This piece right here, it has a scalloped edge on it. Pardon me, I'm looking at the directions and trying to talk. Obviously, I can't do it. I'm going to put some more tear and tape here, or actually I'm just going to put my rolling tape. And you always want to put, when you're dealing with vellum, you want to put it where it can't be seen. So I'm putting it, oh my gosh, I'm putting it behind the strawberries there. I'm going to put that right here. And then what it's calling for is to put the flowers. I'm trying to pick them up over here. We want one flower here, one flower here, one over here, one right here, and then this one looks to be a little tricky because what's going to happen is this is going to go here, and this is going on dimensionals. So your dimensionals are your foam dots that are hexagon shaped. Take off our release tape on the back. Put this together like, oops. Put that in there like that. And then your flower is supposed to come in like this. So I just kind of stuck it down there on its tape. There's supposed to be a separate sentiment on here that goes below this. It says, love you lots. I'm just going to leave it as hello friends so I can be more generic in using that. So that is card number 1. And then I will probably go on the inside and do some decorating on this one too. But that's what the kit calls for right there. So, you know, this one's bothering me that it's leaning. I think I'm going to put, it doesn't call for this. Let me get a mini dimensional. So these are really tiny hexagons. I just want it kind of the same height as the hello friend. Much happier with that. So I would suggest putting a mini dimensional on that. All right, so let's move on to card number 2. So we're gonna stamp again, and now we're gonna stamp thank you on there. Again, we're gonna wipe this off. And I'm gonna do a test with it. So let's step that aside for a minute. Put that aside. All right, let's see what we have here. That looks really good. I don't think there's a need to do a second trial run. So when we put down the thank you, it's calling for it to be right in the center. You want to pay attention to that when you're doing these kits, because sometimes they're off center up to the top, lower bottom, you just never know. So this time it says center. Okay, so let's put that aside. I'm gonna wipe this off. All right, and we are now going to use one of our pink little rectangles here. See if I can pick it up without smushing it. And I need another stamping block. And this time we're going to use the stamp that says "You're the best." I might need a bigger stamping block. We'll try it sideways. Give it a good wipe. I want to make sure it's straight because it looks like it has a bit of a bend. So if you're ever in doubt if one of your stamps is crooked, lay it down someplace flat. Just lay it down with, you know, the part that's going to stamp down, and then pick it up with your stamping block. Almost always you'll get a straight line then from your stamp. So let's test this one out. Let's prime that up. All right, here we go. Perfect. No need to do a double on that one. Try and center it as best you can. Yay! Okay, the stamping is done for that card. I'll wipe this off. So let's start kind of putting things together. Okay, so what's going to happen here is on the back of our thank you, we are going to be putting some dimensionals. And we're putting, whoops, let's get the big ones. They want them in some specific spots. Okay, and then what's going to happen is we're going to flip this over. And I want you to keep in mind, because this can be a little tricky when you open this kit, is you have like 5 or 6 different types of strawberries. And I would encourage you to kind of line them up like this, because you can then tell by the way their stems go what are what, because there are many different ones here. So this particular card is asking for one with a stem that goes off to the side and it's a little skinnier. So it's going to be this one. So what we're going to do with this is we're putting a dimensional over on this side. And the reason being, when we go and put these on the card, they're going to line up like that. So we want this to be at the same level as your thank you. So keep your dimensional over on the right-hand side. So there is that. And we're also going to be using 2 of our little tiny flowers. So let me find again. Where'd they go? Here they are. Put some of our little dots on these. Take off our sticky backs. This is going to end up going on this piece of vellum. Okay, so we have 2 of these. We have this, and then we also have "You're the Best." And "You're the Best." And let's put one of our glue dots on here and here. And let's pull out our card base. This is calling for the strawberry one. I'll get my bone folder out again. I'm gonna scoot this all up so I can get better on screen here. All right, so we've got this. Now we're gonna put down our vellum, and it's gonna go, the long side will go left to right. And so this is gonna go up like this. And we actually need vellum back here. I think that's what they were trying to tell us. And I got that wrong, so we're just gonna double up. No big deal, no one sees it. More stick is always better, right? It's hard to tell in these directions because of the vellum. Okay, and I'm gonna center that up. And does it want to stick? Let's see. All right, now we're gonna take off the release tape off of our strawberry. We're gonna come in like that. And You're the Best is going to come across. Right way up would be good, Susan. It needs to come over a little bit more. It's kind of cutting off the Y, but I'm okay with that. And then our little flower is gonna tuck under the strawberry there. If I have another strawberry, because this probably should have been more to the left. So what I think I'll do is move this over, or not move it over, but put another strawberry over here to level it out. Because I off-centered it a little, I think I will go back and put another strawberry in here. Okay, card number 3. So now we are going to take one of our big pink strawberries, which is this one, and we are going to stamp thank you. So I've left that on my stamping block. I get nervous still when it's something like a die cut I'm stamping on, so I just want to make sure. I'm glad I did, because this really needs some more ink on it. When in doubt, you could always get your stamp positioner out and do that, because then you can double stamp in the exact same spot. Perfect. I think I got all that ink off that. Okay, so we've done that. It wants us to stamp flowers onto the card base. So this is our card base. And so this is going to be tone on tone, because you're going to use your garden green on garden green. So it's just going to kind of fade to the background, which is just fine. It'll give us an effect. And I think they have a small flower and a slightly bigger flower. So hopefully you can kind of see that. And they're using both there. It's kind of got each like 4 different corners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one of them in those areas. But I'm sure it doesn't have to be specifically, 5 inches or whatever. So let's just try this out. I am going to do a sample stamp. Okay. And they are showing this closer to the edges. Okay. Get rid of my ink there. Prime this up. And here we go. And that one did not take place the right way. I'm going to leave it alone. I got too anxious and did it too quickly. Okay, maybe I can drop another one in there when I'm done. So then we're gonna add 2 of these, which I think look like little beach towels. And what they're wanting us to do, first of all, let's get some tape down that they want us to put down. So these 2 pieces are tear and tape. I love that they give you all these supplies. Okay, so there are those. Now we're gonna need to be careful because this is where our strawberries and things are going to be coming into effect. So we know we want the big one, so I'm gonna turn this over and it wants me to do a dimensional here and a dimensional down there, so that's 1. On this card, there will be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 strawberries that are red and 1 that is pink. Okay, so there's that one. Then we want 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. And these are just getting our little circles here. All right, so what they're calling for is this to be something like that. Okay. Get rid of that for a minute. And it's wanting one of our strawberries that goes off to the right with its stem. So it could be this one. And then it wants a little one. And we're gonna do those up in here. How cute. I'm having a big problem with, like, there's one spam call that keeps coming through in the last 2 days. It has the same area code. I've blocked them and they're still coming through, and it's a 657 area code and a different number every time. I can't get this calls to stop. And it's gone on like every 15 minutes for the last 2 days. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so there's that. So, oops, I forgot to take the release off of this one. So this one, see, you've got your tape only on this side, and it's going to attach to our strawberry right there. Okay, and then we have another tinier one. I may have used the wrong one. Let's see. I think we're supposed to be in a tinier one. So let me put down a dimensional on this. I won't pull the dimensional off. I already have. So I'm gonna have to be careful on that, but I'll use it on another card. Okay, so here is that one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more stamps up there because I kind of covered up my boo-boo, which is okay, but I'm gonna add some more. So let's see what I can come up with up here. Okay. And here's our other one. I think we're good with that. All right, and now we have our flowers. All right, one flower is up in here. The next flower is over in here. And this one, I'm gonna put right in here. That's cute. I like that card. Very, very summery. And the last card before I go and do my own thing, we're going to use this and we're going to stamp it with something else from our stamp set. And this one is saying, "Life is sweeter with you." Let's test this out over here. I always keep scratch paper over here to my right, like when we're using things on the computer and we print something out. And we're just gonna trash it. I keep it over there for things just like this. So this they want to stamp over on towards the right-hand side. And this is gonna be a bottom opening card. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now we're gonna come in with our little strawberry basket here, and we're gonna put some tear and tape on that. And it's calling for it right in the middle. And then we're gonna flip this over, and it's wanting us to do a piece here, a piece here, and a piece here. And I got it too close to the edge, but it's okay. When I go and pull off the release tape, I'll just bend it backwards there. Okay, I'm not gonna pull the release tape off yet. Now we're gonna bring in one of these little pink polka dot strawberries. We're gonna bring in that. Then we're gonna bring in some bigger strawberries, it looks like. So we've got one that's going off to the left, like that. We have another one that's doing that, but it's a skinnier one. And then one that's going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got one really, oh. I'm looking at this, it's got one down at the bottom. Okay, so we actually have to do one more of the small ones. But on that one, I'm not sure how I'm gonna attach it yet. And then it's also calling for a flower. So on these, we're gonna do a dimensional on all of these. And we only want one dimensional. Let's do the top. This one's the middle, middle, and here. Okay, so the pink one goes in the middle. This one's going to go here. Like that, maybe. And then this one, they have it like this. And then we are going to take our bucket Sorry, I'm concentrating when I'm quiet. And it wants that to be down in the bottom. I think because they want to see it down here in these crevices. All right, I think I'm gonna separate these to do it better. So you have a little, oh, all right, that's gonna have to work because it's stuck now. I have a little bit of the top of the strawberry hanging out, so I'm gonna clip that off. Okay, and then this is coming over here. So cute. And then what's gonna happen is we need a couple of these and a strawberry. And I'm gonna get our little dots out. All right, our strawberry is gonna be leaning in like this. And we have a flower that's going down right there and another flower coming up in here. Okay, and this is going off or going on the gingham or the pink and orange plaid. What's nice is there's lines on here to help you line up your die cuts when you lay it down. That is really cute. Except, does anyone notice what I did over here? I covered up the sentiment a little. There we go. Much better. So there is card number 4. So I am going to step away from the camera. I'm going to go do my thing and I'll be back. Hey everyone, I'm back with my 4 finished cards. This is now a day or 2 later. I'm not quite sure. We had some things come up with our family. So now I'm back and I'm gonna show my 4 cards to you. So let me turn around and share those cards. Okay, here are my finished projects and let me go over them one by one. These were the envelopes, which I didn't share with you earlier, that came with the collection. Sometimes the envelopes are each different for each card. In this particular paper pumpkin, these were all the same. By the way, I'll link the link below for the paper pumpkin if you'd like to join. I believe you can join for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Obviously, the price goes down for how much more you choose. But I made this card based on this envelope. I just thought they went really well together. So I cut out a pool party base. Then I came in with some granny apple green. I embossed it. Then this vellum was from the kit. These papers right here were from the kit, as were the flowers. And then I brought in a die, and I believe I have that here on my desk. I tried to keep out the things I used. This is the embossing folder I used, which is Starstruck embossing folder. And this was the tag I used. This is from a group that was out at Christmas. Then from the actual kit, I used the word thank you. I think I mentioned the flowers. Then this is a ribbon that was out a while ago and I absolutely love it. It's this one, if you have it. And I believe it's not Pool Party, the color. I think it's on here somewhere. Where did it go? It's Balmy Blue is the color. But I thought it went really well with this. And then I brought in some of these little dots, and they're matte finish, which I really liked. The ombre matte decorative dots. So that is that card. And let's move on to the next. This is another card I created. These obviously were in the kit. I brought in some twine from my collection. I had these shiny dots from way back, so I have no idea where they're from. This right here, this scalloped piece, was in the collection, in the workshop, in the paper pumpkin. This background color I added in here, and this is Puppy Parade. And I did use the whole card base, but if you wanted to make it even go farther, you could take this and cut it and put it on a separate card base and make it go a little bit farther if you wanted to, but I did use the whole thing. Then there is this one. Again, I cut down the front of this card and I did not. I used the whole card, but I cut off the strawberry from one of the other card bases. I used a postage stamp die. I'm trying to look for that on my desk. Here it is. That's what I used on this white piece. And this is perennial postage dies. A really great one for your collection. Then I came in with some twine, put it on here, and I don't think I have the twine on my desk, but that's what that is. Then I cut up some of the larger strawberries and kind of played around with them. Stamped Hello Friend up here, and this is from the paper pumpkin kit we were using. And these dots, these glossy dots, again, are from my stash from a while ago. So there's card number 3. Card number 4, I've gone ahead and I cut this off from one of the other card bases. I put it on Pretty in Pink. The scalloped piece here is from the kit. I cut it off and just did some stamping. And then I brought in some Pretty in Pink back here. And this is strawberry slush linen ribbon, and brought that in there. So that is that. So let's bring back out everything just to refresh. So here are the cards that the company suggests. And here are the cards that I came up with. So we have a total of 8 cards here. And then I wanted to show you what I have left, just so you get an idea of, you can make even more. My Stampin' Spot, which, you'll have for a long time. Some die cuts, some more sentiments that I've stamped. These are from something I thought I would use that I cut out of another die set. A scalloped circle, some more vellum. You still have some tape left, and you have all of these strawberry pieces and flowers. And here we have some more Stampin' Dimensionals, which are the hexagon shapes. And then we have a card front of the strawberry and a card front of the plaid. So you have quite a few things left where I could easily make at least 2 more cards. So the paper pumpkin kits are really a way to go if you need some quick cards, you need to get them done and get them in the mail. I would highly recommend it. Or if it's someone who's new to scrapbooking or scrapbooking card making, they may enjoy these kits also. I have found too that these kits are also good for preteens. They like this to get together and do things like this. So if you need something for like a party and you want to have a kit for everyone, it's great. You just kind of hand it to them and everything's done except putting it together. So let's jump back in and look at some pictures of everything once it's finished. And until next time, thanks for stopping by.